everyone and welcome to the IVR review of Grand Final weekend racing. It was a big weekend, so to take us through it I'm joined from dailysectionals.com, Vince Accardi. G'day Vince.
Good to see you, Jumpy. How are you, mate?
Warm.
That's good, but it should be a bit cooler in there.
Well, it is. It's beautiful in here.
Good.
What also was warm was the racing on the weekend, and I thought we might have a look at some of the sprint races because that certainly sparked a bit of chatter on social media across the weekend, and it covered the whole weekend. So why don't we start off on Friday night with the Moer Stakes with Buffering's win.
Yes, well, wasn't that a good race? as always, it is a race that we've got to respect a lot, no doubt about it. And when we look at what's actually transpired in that particular race there, interesting enough, when we look at Buffering's profile, that early speed, travelling around 1.8 lengths above benchmark through the first section, that's actually a really good, solid race pace. What made it really so critical though, Juppy, was the mid-race squeeze. That's what I call that pressure, the exertion of another 4 lengths mid-race was the difference between being able to get yourself in the race if you're an off-pace runner or not. And this, when you have a fast run race early and then they actually accelerate and find another 3-4 lengths mid-race, it makes it so hard for off-pace runners, and the track was already playing very hard to catch the leaders.
And that made it impossible for the favourite Petite Filly, didn't it? She got found out a little bit by the pace and just the work that she had. It was very hard off that profile for her to then try and run him down.
It really was for that particular horse. Now, whilst this horse that we're talking about, Petite, has the capacity to run up to what Buffering did, the strategy on this occasion, unless you could have owned the lead, and really set them alight, you weren't going to figure. And maybe there was the confirmation that the horse has had enough.
Yeah, that's probably true as well, isn't it?
All the data's indicating that.
And Paul Muscle, how did he sort of perform? Like, was that sort of one of his better performances looking forward as we head into the spring? Because
solid run, ran right up to his figures. He showed good, tremendous speed like he always does. Rock solid, just over a length above benchmark. He showed good tenacity mid-race. He was a fitter horse than Buffering coming into this race, so he was well set up for it. 1,000 metres, I wouldn't call it the ideal distance for this particular horse. I would like it over a bit more ground, so I don't think they could have the horse in any better shape than what they've got at the moment.
But also he was probably benefited from being up near the lead on that track, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the big challenge for these horses coming out of this race is, are they going to make that elevation of 4 or 5 lengths that's needed to compete against the best?
Well, judging from what I saw on Twitter, a lot of people are saying the best went round potentially at Randwick in race 4 in the Roman Console in Exosphere. Okay,
and is this the runner we want to examine next?
Yeah, let's have a look through him because it was an exciting win, that one, and it did set Twitter alight on Saturday. There was quite a few boys there saying they were just astounded by it, so it's definitely worth a look.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, one of the things that we can articulate, of course, here is, Juppy, that we've been talking about Exosphere on the way through. We highlighted in the race speed profiles about where it's headed. We do have the new rising star of the sprinters, there's no doubt about it. And when I say we have the new rising star, to produce figures that are it was just over 9 lengths above benchmark. It was best of the day again, so that means each of its last 3 starts have been best performer of the day. What I like to look at is when this horse came back from the 14 to the 1200, and then we compared it to its first up run over 1200 metres, the horse has elevated another length off that run.
Wow, okay.
So what that's demonstrating is that Exosphere is now in that realm of being able to run 10 lengths above benchmark or greater, and that puts you firmly and squarely in the Chautauqua and Terra Vista when they're at their best, and they have to get to that level again.
Okay, well, speaking of Terra Vista, let's have a look at race 5, the Premier Stakes there at Randwick on Saturday. He was a narrow margin winner, but he got the job done for those of us who were happy to take the short price.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Terra Vista's performance, when you look at the figures, there's no doubt the horse is down on what it's capable of doing in terms of performances. Generally speaking, from a first up point of view, Terra Vista's run a genuine 2 to 3 lengths below what I would call its mid-range figure. It has the capacity of running 9 lengths above benchmark first up, but the 5 lengths above benchmark is still very respectable, so I am going to respect what it did. The mid-race surge is what I love the most about the performance of Terra Vista, that magnificent 400 metre burst of speed, which was in excess of 7 lengths. I love that.
Okay, so he's really just given it to them in the mid.
So he has given it to them.
Yep.
So the question now is, he needs to elevate 4 lengths to match what Exosphere is doing at the moment. The numbers are saying that you've got a genuine 2 to 3 lengths of natural improvement to come. So Terra Vista should be able to get to 8 lengths without any problems at all above benchmark. Its PB's around 11 lengths above benchmark.
Yeah.
At the moment, I'm not sure whether that horse is going to be able to get to that level again, but one thing's for certain, he still has to find 5 lengths to match Exosphere.
Okay, so he's still got to make some improvement, but
Yes.
he might have some improvement fitness-wise because
Correct.
he's still got a little bit to go. And then we move on to the Gilgai Stakes there at Flemington on Sunday. Shataka was sent out of 3's on favourite, and well, it wasn't one of Dwayne Dunn's better rides. He nearly got caught in the wrong spot and nearly got it beat. He was lucky to get away with it in the finish.
Yes, well, it's one of those situations we found ourselves. So you no pace early. They run half length below benchmark through the first section. Chap was running 3.5 lengths below benchmark. That's the first step, and then the second step, there was no mid-race move either. So they're all huddled up, running in a huddle, and they're all wanting to have a 400 metre sprint. This is why it looked vulnerable.
Yeah.
The reality is that's not its ideal race shape. We always have known Shataka's got a massive, big burst of speed late. It did produce a 5.5 lengths above benchmark late, which is very positive. It is an elevation from its last start performance. The reality is, though, we are still tracking well behind what it's capable on its high of around 11 lengths above benchmark. And I just keep coming back. You've got to get to where Exosphere is at the moment.
Yeah. So
you need to find 4 or 5 lengths.
So that'll be very interesting race speed profile wise when we get to races like the Manicato Stakes and then the Darley Sprint on the last day at Flemington. These are going to be great betting races, but we should be able to get an edge there. But for the other races over the weekend, what we suggest there is that you make sure you jump on and grab the IVRs for the other races, because by the look of the 3 meetings across the weekend, Vince, there's plenty of winners to come out of those, especially as we head right into the heart of the carnival now. Footy's finished now, racing season's definitely here, and those IVRs are going to be critical to picking out some nice price winners going forward over the next few weeks.
Well, absolutely. We've finished the report last night for New South Wales, which has come up fantastic. You were here as we just finished the Melbourne report with Ralphie, and we've identified some tremendous performance, and we've really been able to articulate some clear clarity in a number of races, particularly with the lead up to the Cups. So we're very, very excited what we've put together. And, you know, we've got the emergence of the 2-year-olds. How did you enjoy that, the race speed profiles on the weekend, having the race speed profiles for the 2-year-olds?
It does make a difference, and these 2-year-old races, they're betting on them like anyone else. Like, they're happy to take them on. So it's just a huge leg up when a lot of the rest of the market's completely sort of uneducated, and it's a guess up from half the guys pricing them up as well. So you're giving yourself a head start by getting into those. But yeah, so race speed profiles are going to be critical this weekend for Caulfield Guinea State. Make sure you jump on board for that, but also make sure you head to Punter Show and One to Follow to grab the IVR packages so that you've armed yourself correctly with the right information as we head into the spring. So there looks like there's some real solid form races, some real key performances that these horses can launch off, and you really are doing yourself a bit of a disservice by not getting it, Vince.
Well, Jumpy, what I can say is this. We've been doing the IVR reports for a long, long time now. It's a very, very important tool. It's an independent review of what's going on. It gives absolute clarity to all the hard work of working through each of the sections and every runner through their 8 different data points that we measure them over. It does crystallise things. It's our big asset in terms of the tool we use going into forward races, and crystallises our view and thinking about what we should be following or not.
And also it takes out if you're doing the tapes, it takes out what you think you've seen. Because it actually, if you think you've seen something, well, there you go, you've got the data to back it up. Or if you've seen something and then you check the data, well, maybe the eye's not right, you can believe the data because it's going to prove that that's the level, and that's helps you project to where the level it needs to go to for the next start.
It's all about that, Jumpy. It's all about giving clarity, educating when you're reviewing sectional data is not purely looking at a raw number, measuring through their benchmark, understand the pace of the race. You can also get tremendous insight about the race improvement of fitness from one run to the other, because we express ourselves about understanding how fast or slow they went above or below the IVR benchmark standard, and pitching it against its profile. So we can see, oh well, you've come on 7 lengths in terms of fitness from one run to the other, even though you may have only run midfield in the race.
And the flip side of that too, Vince, is you'll also find, as we sort of get further into the carnival, the horses that are, right, that was the end of the tether.
Yes.
They might still have another run that they're being aimed at after that, but we know by that stage they've finished their over the top. They've performed to their... Like, you've only got a very limited number of maximum runs in a preparation, so if you've had your maximum run in that race and then you've got another grand final coming up a week or two later, we're going to be all over it, and it means you can avoid some short-priced overhyped runners.
That's right, Juppie, and this is why I always say lastly, we all like to try and get insight when we see horses coming out of a race and if they win, so that's a strong race. One of the things that we can clearly identify from the IVR reporting and platform is that we can identify that before horses come out into the next race saying, well, we know this is a strong race already.
So make sure you jump on to puntershow.com and then one to follow and go through. Make sure you grab the IVRs from the weekend just gone, and remember, coming towards the weekend, you want to get the race speed profiles. They've been an exceptional tool at finding some really juicy price winners, especially in the most advantaged column. There was a couple on the weekend. Well, I know it helped me get the quaddie on Friday night, and it helped me get the Queensland treble on Sunday. So, they've been fantastic so far, and that'll continue through the rest of the spring.
Fantastic.
Vince, thanks very much for your time. I'll see you this time next week, and we'll run through it then.
Look forward to it.
I'll see you on Thursday for the Melbourne preview with Darren Potter.
Excellent.